What's good, guys? Today the topic of interest is 5 practical steps to recover from difficult times. Because difficult times are gonna come. There's gonna come a point where life is just gonna go smack you right across the face, right? And what's very important is that you know how to recover during these difficult times, because that's what separates people who are excellent, people who we remember, and people who we don't remember, who people who forget. The ability to recover when difficult times occur, because you find out the nature of a person, you find out the strength of character in a person when things go wrong, and it's important that you know what to do, because it's easy to be happy when things are going on. It's easy to be high-fiving everyone, hugging everyone when things are good. But when things are difficult, that's when you really try to find out the true nature of a person. So I've laid out these 5 steps that will really help you guys out to recover and to recover quickly. They've helped me out during my times of crises, and I believe that they can also help you guys out also. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. The first thing to do when you're in a crisis, when things are going wrong, is be good to yourself. That's the first thing. Be good to yourself. Now, if you're one of those people who like you feel like you really want a lot for yourself, or you feel like you should be better, you feel like you should be stronger, you've got high expectations of yourself, there can be a tendency where you beat yourself down. So you look at things going wrong and you're like, man, if only I was stronger. Oh, I'm so weak. Oh, I'm so stupid. If I was like this person, then this wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't feel like this person. I wouldn't feel this way. Now, beating yourself up does not help you. Right, it doesn't. You are your greatest resource. Now, there is a time for brutal self-assessment and brutal scrutiny of yourself and your character, but that's not then. In the heat of it, when things are going wrong and you're trying to recover, the first thing that you must do is be good to yourself. Because when you're good to yourself, it's kind of like when you press F5 on the computer, you refresh things, you reboot the system, and you rejig the energy. Like, I remember I was reading about dolphins earlier today. And I was reading about how dolphin trainers train dolphins to do tricks. Now, the way that dolphin trainers get the most out of dolphins is that they reward them with fish. So when the dolphin, when they're trying to get the dolphin to jump super high, what they do is they reward it with fish whenever it jumps really high, but they do it intermittently, so at random times. So like the dolphin would jump high and they'll give it a fish, and the dolphin's like, whenever I jump high, I get rewarded with fish. So it starts jumping higher and higher, trying to get more fish, thinking, like, this could be the jump where I get more fish, because it doesn't know when it's going to happen. And then when it jumps super high, it gets another fish. But sometimes there comes a point when the dolphin trainer is trying to teach a dolphin a new trick, and it's not quite grasping it, it's not quite getting it, and it's not getting reward. So it gets frustrated, and the dolphin goes, you know what? I don't want to play this game anymore. I ain't doing your tricks no more. I'm done. It loses motivation. So what the dolphin trainer does in order to regain the motivation for the dolphin is he just randomly gives it loads of fish. He just gives it loads of random fish just for no reason. And what it does is it rejigs the energy and the motivation in the dolphin, because when it sees that it's being rewarded and it's just giving loads of fish, it feels better, and then it's willing to participate in more training later down the line. That just random bit of reinforcement, that random bit of reward. And that's what you sometimes need to do with yourself. You must be good to yourself. You must reward yourself. That's the first thing to do. So what does that look like? That's different for different people. Sometimes it could be that you just have a day where you just do what you want to do. Either you just watch Netflix, or you go for a walk, or you buy yourself something nice if you're in a position to do so. Maybe you even get a trim. Right? You just do something for yourself, because that's what's going to rejig you. You need to get yourself back on side. So be good to yourself. That's the first thing. F5, refresh, hard refresh. Get yourself back in the game. That's the first thing. The second thing to do is to get clean and get tidy. So dress yourself also. Have a nice hot shower, have a nice hot bath, spray yourself, moisturize, smell good, dress well. Dressing well is very important. I remember I used to watch a show with Trinny and Susanna. They used to do these, like, if you're old like me, I'm not really that old, I'm hip, I'm young. But if you're of my similar generation, in the UK, you used to have a show with 2 ladies called Trinny and Susanna, and they used to do makeovers for people. So these mostly women who were kind of insecure and didn't really dress really well, so they do a whole makeover. So they get a new haircut, they get new outfits. Looking back now, those outfits were horrific, but back then they were fashionable. And what would happen is that when the ladies had a whole new makeover, they'll come out and they'll be standing taller, they'll be feeling better. Like, they were emanating confidence and an aura, and that's the way they feel. When you present yourself well and you dress well, you carry an aura, you feel good about yourself, there's a bounce in your step, you feel significantly better than when you dress frumpily. So dress well, put on a suit, put on a nice dress, feel like a boss. You just feel better. Everything looks better when you dress well. You just feel good, right? And then the next thing to do is, after you've dressed well and you look good, the first thing is clean your environment. So tidy up your environment, because I do believe that an untidy environment is often a reflection of the state of mind a person is in. When my room is tidy and it's untidy and it's all over the place, it's a reflection that my mind is all over the place. right? But when things are tidy and they're all folded and they're all in the allocated places, I feel good. I feel like, everything is good with the world again. So tidy up your environment. Tidy up your environment. You're going to feel significantly better. So get clean and tidy up your environment. That's the second thing you need to do. The third thing that you must do now is take control of your mindset, because your mindset is everything. Your mindset dictates what you put out. Like input dictates output. Right? Your mindset is what you need. That's what's going to help you get out of trouble. And I've talked about this over and over again. And I've got so many videos on mindset because it's that important. So if you haven't already watched the video on building a morning routine or building a routine, watch that video, the mental health routine one. That's going to help you guys out. Now, when you're going through trouble and when things are going wrong, you need to first of all get your mind aboard. You need to feed it the right things, because that's what's going to give you the strength to take action and to get yourself out. Because I remember there was a time when I was going through extreme hardship. I remember I was in debt. I was like deep in my overdraft. And looking back now, because like my standards of life have changed since then. Back then, right, that felt like I was like £100 million in debt. I was like, like I'm never gonna get out. It felt like the biggest amount of debt ever. Like, you know how you look at those what do you call those entrepreneurs who tell you like, I was broken, I was in debt, and then I got out, and it sounds really like inspirational and encouraging. I remember I was there and it was not fun. I was stressed. I remember I felt like some visceral fear that I've never felt before. I was just so stressed. I was like, I'm going to be broke forever. I'm going to be a hobo. I'm going to be a loser. I don't want to be a loser. You know, I'll honestly, my mind was just all over the place. Stressed. And when I was during that time, the last thing that I needed to hear was stories about how people have failed, how people have been in debt and never really got out. Like you know, some people would often say like, you know, they're the like cynics on the internet. They'll be like, there's some people who've been broken, who've got out of it like entrepreneurs, but not everybody gets out of it. Some people really wreck their lives when they do that. I didn't need to be hearing that at that time. I needed to be hearing positive, encouraging messages. So during that time, I was just reading a whole ton of books. I was listening to a YouTube channel called Machiavelli Motivation. They'll upload like videos daily, and I'll just be like binging them all the time. And I remember those. One of my friends, I remember, used to see me all the time, and I was always reading. I was like, why are you always reading so many books? And I just told him I really like books, but on the inside I was like, my life's in chaos. But I didn't tell him that. It's because I needed as much mental help, mental encouragement to get me through that time. So I had to feed my mind the right things. The same with you guys. So practically, what does that look like? It means controlling your feed. So there's some people that you have to put on mute. There's some people that you may have to stop spending time with for a period of time if they're negative. Start watching videos like mine. Subscribe to channels. You need to find people who are sharing encouraging, empowering messages, because that's what you need at that time. Okay, so once you've got that unlocked, this is when you now start scrutinizing the situation. So scrutinize yourself honestly and brutally. Look at the whole situation. Reflect on it with the type of person that you are, and reflect on what's got you in this situation. Because sometimes it could be like things beyond your control, and you can accept that. And you can also reflect on your type of character and the type of person that you are as well during that time. You can learn a lot about yourself when you're going through crises. Okay, and I remember when I was reflecting on how I got in debt, I realized certain things. I was like, you know what, I got here because this was my fault, right? This is my responsibility. I was too much of a pleaser. I didn't say no to certain things, and this is what got me in trouble. I made unwise decisions because I wanted to look cool when I wasn't really in a position to look cool at that time. I wasn't in a position to buy certain things. That's what got me in debt. That's what got me in my overdraft. I made unwise decisions, like deep in it. So when you have that scrutinized and you reflect and you learn certain things about yourself, the next thing to do is you devise a plan to get yourself out of that situation, or you devise a plan or something to help yourself through that. So, with practical steps. Okay, so like for me, for example, when I was deep in my overdraft, what was the first thing I decided to do? I didn't think about solely getting myself completely clean of debt, because it felt like a mountain. The first thing I needed to do was just, first of all, reduce my costs. So I got rid of certain things that I just didn't need. So I remember I had like 2 gym memberships. It was like, you know, I've got 2 gym memberships for one gym that I never really go to, but I just, you know, I kind of like having it. That gym had to go. I had to stop buying meals all the time, stop eating out all the time, right? I had to stop doing that. And I was walking everywhere. For the most part, if I could walk there, I would walk there, right? You had to reduce the costs. I had to get rid of my Spotify, all that jazz. I had to get rid of all those things, okay? Apple Music, get rid of it. You know, all these unnecessary costs had to go to reduce this. So when you have a practical plan, that helps. Now, what happens is that when you have a practical plan, which is the next step, you start working the plan and start controlling the things that you can control. Because when you control the things that you can control, what happens is that you start picking up a little bit of momentum. And when you start picking up a bit of momentum, what happens is this thing that we call serendipity occurs. So serendipity is like another word for luck. They say luck or like opportunity arises, and people begin to help you because people are more inclined to help you when you are helping yourself. Help comes when you are helping yourself. Help comes when you are in motion, when you've picked up a little bit of momentum. Help comes. I remember another time where I write plays. If you guys don't know, I do write plays. I remember there was one particular play that we did that was like an Easter production. And I remember at the time when we did the Easter production, I didn't really have any real resources at that time. I just wrote the play and I thought, okay, let's just have some auditions to get some people in it. So we did some auditions to get some people to come in and act. And we're doing that. So bear in mind, I had like no real resources, no real money to buy costumes or anything like that, but I thought, okay, Bonnet, we'll just do the rehearsals and then we'll see what happens. And as we were doing the rehearsals, momentum started to pick up. People started to hear that we were doing a play, and then somebody connected me with somebody who also did drama, and they happened to have connections at the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester, where I'm from. And as a result of them having connections there, they were able to supply us with outfits, gears, clothing, costumes for all the cast, right? And they were amazing costumes. All these things were provided, right? Simply because I started taking action. When you take action and you start picking up momentum, people come and help, right? You may think you start getting lucky or things start happening. It's not necessarily just luck. It's just that you're doing something. You've positioned yourself in a position where you can be helped. But no one's gonna help you when you just lie on your back. You first have to get yourself going. Okay, so those are the steps. Be good to yourself. Dress well, okay, and clean your environment. The third thing is take control of your mind. The fourth thing is scrutinize and make a plan. The fifth thing is work the plan and allow serendipity to occur. That's what's going to help you. So that's the video of the day, guys. You guys take care of yourself, and we'll speak again soon. Bye-bye.